In the early 90s, Bill Gates made the outlandish statement that every household would have a PC. And everybody said, that's crazy. Computers are for businesses. No, nobody are going to have PCs. Well, you now have in your home anywhere from 5 to 20 variations of a PC, going from your desktop to your laptop to your Kindle to your smartphone to your smart TV to your automobile, you name it. You've got many PCs in your home now. Well, if Nvidia is going to grow, if Jensen is going to grow, he's got to get a GPU into your house. You may not buy it, but you may rent it. That's right. That's right. GPUs are going to be so coveted that they will make your life so much better, that they will make businesses so much better that you'll rent one. Yeah. If you've listened to Mark Zuckerberg and Jensen's discussions, if you've listened to Mark Zuckerberg's earnings call, you know how they're going to do it. They're going to give you an agent. What is an agent? An agent is, well, if he's a literary agent, he knows how to promote your book. He knows how to find you a editor to write it better. He knows how to work through the publishers. He knows how to self-publish. He knows things you don't know how to do. That's what an agent does. And Mark has recognized that he has saturated his market. He's got, I don't know how many billions of people coming to his Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and his whole world of apps every month. He needs to find a way to grow his business. And he's already bought 160,000 GPUs, and he's declared he's going to buy more. Why? To provide you an agent. Let me interpret for you based on my life. I own a small business. I own a business that helps people make better investment decisions. I recognize that my TAM, my total addressable market for the United States and the rest of the world, is roughly 66 million people. That's 66 million people that manage their own stock portfolio. That's my TAM. I want to reach them. How do I reach them? I make videos like this on YouTube. I run ads on YouTube. I run ads on Facebook. Okay, who could run a better ad than me to my 66 million TAM? Well, Mark could, because he knows them. He knows what websites they go to. He knows what ads they respond to. He knows more about them than I do. All I know is more about my business than Mark does. So what if Mark, through one of his GPUs, provides me with an agent? And that agent will come into my business, learn everything about my business, and review the over 2,000 videos I've made over the last 5 years, read all 4 of my books, read all of the articles I've written, read all the emails I've written, see what I tune into and how I run my business. And that agent will now become more knowledgeable of my business than I am, because I'm sometimes forgetful. But he remembers everything, this agent that Mark is going to be making available to me. And then because Mark has then on the other side all the knowledge about his audience that I'm trying to reach, who are members of my TAM, total addressable market, Mark can bring those two things together through the agent to grow my business. Now, why would Mark want to do that? Because he wants to sell me advertising. Okay, so because he has an agent that knows more about my audience than I do and knows as much as about my business, if not more than I do, Mark is in a position to provide me with the advertising that I can tap into that 66 million people. Now, I'm currently offering my services for $60 a month. Well, Mark will come look at it and say, well, you need to make it $100 a month, or you need to make it $15 a month. Why will he know that? Because he knows his audience better than I do, and he can do the math better than I can. But do the math. 66 million. Let's say we get 10% and we charge them $50 a month. How big of a business is that? How do I get there? Through Mark's advertising. Well, just after I finish with Mark, guess who's going to knock on my door next? Google. And Google's going to say, hey, we've got an agent for you too. We know your videos better than Mark does, because we actually publish them on a daily basis. We know our market Our market being those people who watch financial videos on YouTube better. We want to give you an agent too. Now, will he give it to me? Will Mark give it to me? No. I suspect they'll rent it to me for about $20 a month. Will I pay it? You damn betcha I will. He will come in, and in essence, I will have partners. I will have a partner called Facebook or Meta. I will have a partner called Google who will run all my YouTube. They will get so good at my business that they will produce this video and you won't know if it's me or if it's an avatar. That's how good they'll get. They'll write my scripts. They'll put the words in my mouth and they'll produce the video. They'll move my hands in all these crazy ways. That's what they will do. And who is going to benefit from that? Yes, that's Nvidia. Nvidia will grow their business because they have to keep selling more GPUs. And once, if they stop where they are, they're done. And the only business, then they're in the same business as General Motors and Ford. They're just replacing cars. They're not really growing a business. But through making an agent who's attached to a GPU available to me, they will grow Jensen's business. And that's just here in the United States. What about when that goes across the world? What is the next step? What is the next? That's small business. What about you? What about you renting an agent that takes care of your books, looks at your grocery bill and says, you need to change this, this, and this to bring that grocery bill down? What do you mean you're paying $6 for a dozen eggs? Get rid of the damn chicken. Okay. Well, that's an inside joke. But the reality is you will have an agent. Who will benefit from that? Nvidia. Because your agent will be backed by a GPU. Will you own the GPU? Will you have to buy and pay for the GPU? No. You'll probably rent it for $1.99 a month. But everyone will rent it. And everyone will have the power of compute. This is what I've talked about, the democratization of compute. This is a phrase I want you to put by Kerry, the democratization of compute. And that's what Mark and Jensen are talking about in the interview I shared with you last week, in the earnings call that I shared with you last week. That's what they're talking about. That's the next generation. If you don't believe it's possible, remember Bill Gates. When he went to IBM. He went to IBM and said, I'm going to put a computer, a PC, a personal computer in every house. And IBM sitting there looking at this huge computer that takes up a whole 5th floor of their big building and says, you gotta be insane. There is no way you can bring a computer down to something that the average individual would own. Well, IBM, you're damn wrong. And if you don't believe that Nvidia, that Jensen Huang and Mark Zuckerberg and the managers of the big tech companies recognize that I am the future of their business by giving me access to a GPU and democratizing compute. I mean, Amazon's even going to show up. They'll come knock on the door and say, Kerry, between Facebook and Google, you have built a hell of a brand. You've tapped into this 66 million people who are managing their own portfolio. You need to make a clothing line. Let us show you how you can do it, and you can sell it through our distribution centers. I am the key to the growth of big tech, all the way from Nvidia down. And if you don't believe that, why don't you put a sign on your door, the new headquarters of IBM? I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I've been around a while. I've seen things happen. I've seen change. I've experienced change. So I have a different perspective. And the future is coming faster than you think. It's at your door. Go open your front door. It's right there. Talk to you again tomorrow.